Okay, today is Friday, February 7th. But my book just got published on Amazon today. So today is the actual day it's happening. It was supposed to be published on Tuesday, but that didn't quite happen just due to the Amazon formatting things as far as the book cover. Basically, honestly, right now I'm feeling very imposter syndrome-y. Which I think most people know what imposter syndrome is if you are in the creative field or if you're in the workforce in general. It's basically kind of just feeling like you don't really belong in your workforce or work field, but it still doesn't feel like you are one of the real people doing it, because you are doing it yourself. So it's am I a real author? No one signed me. I don't have a literary company backing me. I don't have a literary management or agent, which I'm fine with that. I've come to terms and accepted that a long time ago. I've been wanting to self-publish for years. I've been researching it for years. So I have no issue with that. There's no shame in my game at all about self-publishing. But now that it is becoming so real and it's there in writing, it is an interesting feeling, to say the least. So it's been a long road, as I'm sure most of you know. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you've already followed me elsewhere on social media. Probably Instagram is where I'm the most present, I guess I should say. So I just sent out the email. This is going to jump around a lot, I'm sorry. I just sent out the email to the people that are doing the book reviews for me so that they can, I don't know what to do about this fucking lighting. The people that are doing the book reviews for me so that they can actually go on to the URL with the Amazon link and submit their reviews. I only have 4 people doing reviews. It was supposed to be 5, but one person, actually the only person I actually know in real life that was supposed to do it, kind of flaked a little bit, but that's fine. So I have 4 people giving me book reviews. The editorial reviews didn't really pan out just because timing purposes, which is fine. I mean, it's a lot of people for their very first book, especially self-published, they don't have editorial reviews. I was just trying to kind of get above the curve and overcompensate and get editorial reviews, which is definitely doable, but it's not necessary. You can still have a very successful book launch with a self-published book without having editorial reviews. I'm excited to have this part done because once it's up there, well, it is up there now, but once it's up there, I can't take it down. I mean, I can take it down whenever I want. Obviously, people take books down or items down offline all the time. But it's because it's there, it's that just tells myself all right, it's here, it's done. The book is there. You can't get scared and back out. it's there. People are gonna start buying it. Reviews are gonna start going up. I'm running ads all next week, so just commit to this 110%. You know, that's what I'm telling myself. It's just okay, the moment has come. The time is here. All the work that you did is here, so just accept it, embrace it. But when you really think about it, this is the real tea. With Amazon self-publishing, I would have to really price my book really high for me to even make money off of it. Right now I have the book priced theoretically at $9. The program that I'm using, the little self-publishing I found this self-publishing guide online, which is basically this woman that has self-published books for herself and for other people before, and she has all the ins and outs and all the secrets and tips and stuff. Her guide encourages you to sell your book for 99 cents or drop the price to 99 cents for the first week that your book is actually selling, just to incentivize people to buy it because it is so cheap. And then also a lot of the ad programs that you use BookBub and BookSins and I think BK Knight. I think at least 2 of those, it requires your book to be either 99 cents or less, or it requires your book to be $3 or less in order for you to run ads through them. It wants to support people that are selling their books for super cheap. But honestly, right now I still have my book listed at $9. But even with my book being listed at $9, my profit would only be, I think, $3 per book, if that, because Amazon takes, you don't pay for printing, but Amazon takes the cost of printing each individual book. They take that cost out of the price the person pays. So I think it cost me $2.15 per book to print. And Amazon does all the printing and ships it directly to the person, so I don't have to like deal with any of that. Which, you think about it, like, it's worth the price, because like that's stressful in and of itself. Like, imagine me printing the books off with some other like printing company, getting all the books printed and mailed to me, and then I have to hand mail all the books out to everyone that wants them. Like, that's just a mess. And that's how it was back in the day before like KDP and everything got to where it is now, which KDP is Kindle Direct Publishing, for those of you who don't know, which is basically just like what Amazon uses for direct publishing. It used to be called CreateSpace a while ago. When I first looked into it, CreateSpace and KDP were separate from each other, both within Amazon. But now, within the past year that I've really gotten serious about self-publishing, KDP has taken over all of the self-publishing aspects for Amazon. So CreateSpace doesn't exist anymore. It's just KDP. So like I was saying, it costs $2.15 for me to print each book, which just comes out of the total cost of the $9. And then I think the royalties are 60% or something like that. So yeah, when I sell the book for $9, I'm only getting, I think, $3 per book, which is like, even if like everyone I know bought a book, I'm not really, well, maybe I'm like underestimating myself, but like, even if I was like go on Facebook and tell all my like 900 Facebook friends to buy the book, first of all, they're not all gonna buy it, which I know that, like, I'm not dumb. And second of all, like, taxes, print cost, royalties, all that, I'm not gonna be like a millionaire off of this one book, which was never the goal. It was just more so to commit and follow through, show myself that I could do it. And then a lot of poets, how they get discovered is they do self-publishing for their first book or two, and then they get noticed by a larger publishing company, and that's where they really kick off. But it's because they took the incentive to go ahead and do it themselves. Like, you're showing, basically, I believe in my work so much that I'm just going to put it out myself, whether I make money or not. And people notice that drive, and people notice like the buzz you get online from that, especially because like Insta poetry is such a thing now. I'm like overdoing this for real. There's nothing even on the brush anymore. Insta poetry has really blown up in the past like 4 years. So like a lot of poets are strictly known because of their like online presence through Instagram and stuff. So that gets them noticed as well. Like, literary agents look at that, like, believe it or not, you would think like, okay, like, what does me being popular online have to do with me selling books? Like, I'm not like an actress, I'm not a model, like, why does my online presence matter so much? But like, really, that's the way everything is going now. Any kind of creative field, any kind of like partially like self-made or like working for yourself kind of field, you have to have that personality and that online presence to go with it, which is kind of weird, especially for writers, because a lot of writers are introverts, or are like, by the nature of being a writer, you're definitely like behind the scenes. You're not like in front of the camera person. You're like, I write the book, you write the check kind of person. Like, most writers don't care about being popular. They don't care about like, oh, I want to star in my own movie that I wrote. It's like, no, I want to write the movie and then have someone else star in it and someone else direct it for me. Like, I already got the check, you know? So it's kind of contradictory to have writers, people that are known to be behind the scenes and behind the camera, to like expect them to now be like these huge like internet sensations and have like an online following. And it's honestly such an easy process. I don't want to downplay and say like, oh, anybody can do it kind of thing, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of like self-starting. Like, you have to be self-motivated in order to do that, for sure. But I will say, it's when you get it, the writing and formatting is the hardest part. Like, if you already have the content, which when I knew I wanted to self-publish, I already had over like 200 poems to choose from. Granted, there are not 200 poems in the book. I think the entire book is like 62 pages, and some of the poems are more than 1 page long, so that's probably like maybe 50-something poems. So definitely not 200 poems in this first book, just because, like, to be honest, they weren't all that good, and they didn't all like flow together in the same way, so I didn't want to include everything in there. But narrowing down the poems I wanted to include was the easy part. The hard part was kind of like deciding if I wanted to have a theme, if I want to like, because in my book, there's like certain poems that like are kind of related to each other. Rudy Francisco, for example, and Phil K, for example, they have like their poetry books split into like chapters or segments. So I was trying to decide if I want to do something like that where everything was grouped together. But then I was like, well, life, like real life, it doesn't happen like in chronological order like that. Like you don't have like all of your good days are like in this big chunk, and then all of your bad days are here, and all of your whatever. It doesn't go in order like that. Like life is so sporadic, and there is like no pattern. Like the fact that there is no pattern is the pattern. So I didn't want all of my poems about love to be in the same chapter. All my poems to be about my family in the same chapter. All my poems to be about depression in the same chapter. I wanted it to have an even distribution throughout. So I was like, F that, I'm not going to put actual chapters. No, I'm just going to put the poems in like an order that I think flows as far as like ebbs and flows of actual life. And then when you get the book, you'll open it. After the page, after the table of contents, it has like categories. Like made a separate table of contents, kind of separating the books by like theme. But those books aren't, I keep saying books, poems. Each poem is its own book, I guess. Each of those poems don't all get jumbled together like that. So it's not like, plus I would hate to read a book where like, okay, like all the love stuff is over here, all the whatever stuff is over here. Like I want to have like some mixture and like some back and forth, you know, which is why I also did it like that, which I'm pretty happy with, you know. And that was a part of, like, I knew I wanted to do that. I was like, whether this book gets picked up by a publisher or not, I knew whether I ended up self-publishing or whether someone else ended up publishing it for me. I knew I was standing my ground on that. I knew, like, I'm not budging on the idea of having the category thing. Like, I knew that had to be included for, like, my own desire. So that's why it is the way it is like that. Which it'll make a lot more sense when you guys actually physically have the book in your hand and you can look at it and see what I'm talking about. I'm pretty excited. I'm excited, but I'm also like nervous even admitting that I'm excited. I don't want to get my hopes up. I mean, I know my friends will buy it. I know my parents don't even know that I'm writing this. My parents don't even know this is happening. One of my brothers knows. I mean, obviously I'll tell them eventually. There are poems in the book that I prefer they didn't read, but like if they do, whatever, like I'm not like talking about anything super crazy. And then each of my parents have a poem in the book that's about them specifically, so I feel like they do deserve to like know that it's happening and like have a copy and stuff like that. That I didn't want my parents to like go like be so happy and go tell their friends like, oh, Sierra published a book, go buy it, go buy it, go buy it, and then their friends buy it and read it and they're like, what the F is this? Like this is not like the wholesome content we thought it was going to be. But like I don't really care about that anymore. Like I just can't afford to allow myself to care about that stuff anymore. My face looks exactly the same. It looks like I didn't even put on makeup. Like what was the point? I'm kind of excited for it to be over with. Like I said, I'm excited to like kind of like wash my hands of it and be like, okay, it's there. If you want to buy it, buy it. If you don't want to buy it, I don't care. And just like not have to be like second guessing, because this entire process I've gone so back and forth about taking certain poems out of the book because I thought they were too risque or too personal or too embarrassing or too corny. I've also just been like, I'm not going to put it out at all because it's like, I don't want to be like the person that people are like, oh, this person really thinks that they're doing something. Everyone's like laughing at me like, such a joke, like whatever, like so cheesy, like that's not cool. Like writing isn't like cool or popular. But I obviously don't do it for that reason. Like I don't write because I want to be popular. I don't write because I want to be rich. Like if I wanted to be rich, this would be the last career option I would choose for myself, you know. But I just love it that much, and it's nice to see something come like to full circle from start to finish, like pen on paper to actually like fucking publish on Amazon, you know. That's just so amazing to me, and I'm not gonna downplay how big of a deal that is, you know. So I gotta go. It's 1:22. I need to leave my house in 20 minutes to be to work one time. And I still need to like fix my hair a little bit more than this in the actual mirror and get dressed and all that. But I just wanted to chat with you guys.